All right, folks, let's try this again, but let's do it in under 10 minutes. So, welcome. This is Stitch. This is what I use to develop the UX and UX flow for an application. I start with text documents. You can notice they have a nice Photoshop-like canvas here. Start with some text documents. The one that I started with was actually this here. I'm gonna delete that. This is what I dropped in as the prompt. I had a very detailed UX system and design document, of course, created by Claude, to drop in here. When I first started to run the prompt, my initial prompt, Stitch returned with a few objects that were the base elements of the UX, and I always start with just a black and white palette. As I develop out the different elements of the website, all the different pages, the login screen. This is actually a recipe library with a quiz and a manager's dashboard that allows you to upload recipe data, allows you to learn the recipes and test yourself on the recipes. So there's different login screens. There's different screens depending on whether you're viewing, all of the recipe library, or looking at a recipe, or looking at the quiz of a recipe. And of course, once I had all the different objects, screens that I wanted, I updated the coloring and palette style. We'll just zoom in here real quick and kind of go through these to kind of show what we have. You can see that this is the old manager's dashboard. We're going to delete that while we're here. You see you have a login screen for the black and white login screen. It's now one of the login screens is like so, slightly colored. You have the recipe, so you'll notice too, this is an old step list. If we go to the new step list, we can see for a cheeseburger, step 1, prep toast, season the patty, grill, put the cheese, assemble the burger, start a quiz if you want. So another login screen, which we want to keep that one and get rid of. Want to change those two. All right, so we're going to keep this under 10 minutes. But you can see how each of these is essentially a page in the website. And then what you do, once you have had conversations, you can see they're listed over here on the left. You can basically select an object or multiple objects. It'll add them to the chat. You can ask a question, ask for modification, and it'll update the images. Once you have all the images that you need, you select all those images, and you're then given a little toolbar of extra options when you select images. One of them that you want to do is generate instant prototype. And this is actually the magic that Stitch does, is it will generate a prototype application of all the different images that you select. So if we go into the prototype preview, and you can even make edits directly from this view. But you can see it loads the screens into the prototype that you've selected. You can click on the actual screens. You can actually click on the buttons, and like I said, it's stitched together these screens so that you can actually kind of use it like you would an app. So you can go in, pretend to edit a recipe, pretend to edit the photo. Not all the buttons work, but you should see, pretty much what you need to save, publish, edit recipes. And then of course, when you get into the coding, you'll actually develop these, and make them workable. Since there's a different, when a cook lines in is different than a chef or a manager. So when the line cook logs in, they see a search bar, all their recipes. They can click on it, get to the recipe they want. Didn't go to the page that I want though. That's fine. They see the steps to make the recipe. They can start their quiz, answer the quiz, submit the answer, go back to recipes, review mistakes. So pretty simple app. It's just a recipe library, some quizzes, and really focused on readability and in the future language support. So with that, we will go ahead and keep this under 10 minutes. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions about Stitch or want to chat, you can hit me up on x.com/ErnestoGaia.